Hello! Welcome to another grand episode of Cooking in Kitchens. My name's Ruben. Hello. Real estate professional, amateur cook. The new issue is out of Good to Be Home. Now this particular pumpkin dish, got a couple pumpkins here. This particular dish is not in this one. Unfortunately, I didn't see it as an option when I was selecting what recipes would go into this one, but it is on the next one in December. But it is going to be available here to you with this video. So all the instructions and all that fun stuff is going to be put into the description. So what we've got going on here, this is a turkey rice pumpkin mix. What's it called? Roasted stuffed pumpkin. Yeah, so we're going to be cutting open, coring this out, and filling it with some deliciousness. For starters, got to get our turkey ready. Always make sure your knife is sharp before you start cooking. So we're just going to go ahead and trim the skin off. You're welcome to keep it if you like it, but for this dish I'm just going to go ahead and slice off the skin here. And then we're just going to cube this up and then throw it onto the frying pan. Alright. We're not doing anything special with this, we're just cutting it into cubes, and we're just going to stick it right into the pan. These can really be as big as or as small as you like. I'm trying to keep them around a ½ inch. And another good way, which I really should have done, but I've already gotten started, is since meat can be particularly slippery, using a fork or something like that to hold it into place while you trim it. Case in point. Alright. Just about done here. Now I got 2 pumpkins here. It said the ingredients call for 1 large or 2 medium pumpkins. So when I was out at the grocery store, I grabbed the most medium pumpkins I could find, and maybe if you're trying to serve individual ones, maybe go for small pumpkins. And one thing to understand is the size of the oven. I imagine most ovens are roughly about the same size, mostly, but I would not be able to fit one of the large pumpkins in there. I had to take the rack all the way down to the lowest level on that, and the top of this, there's only maybe a couple inches between the top of the pumpkin and the upper ceiling or upper heating element. So one thing to take into consideration, I'm just going to cut 1 pumpkin open right now. When I stuff it, if I've got enough left, we'll throw on the other one. But for right now, it's turkey. Turkey time. First set in the pan. This does call for rice. I went ahead and pre-boiled it, pre-cooked it, because there's no sense in just sitting here for 45 minutes, an additional 45 minutes. cooking up that rice. So once you got your wild rice all prepped, whether you're either using a stove top or a rice cooker, make sure that you leave yourself enough time in your prep to get the rice going. Alright, so while that is cooking, while that's sizzling, we're going to go ahead and start chopping up our vegetables. Apple. So, this is a Granny Smith. Nice, big, pretty solid. We're going to go ahead and use an apple core. Now when you purchase your apple core, if you decide that you would like to have one of these because they're very convenient, always, I learned this the hard way, make sure you got enough clearance here for your knuckles. Because the original one, the first time I purchased one of these, I wanted something nice and slim so it would just take up not a whole lot of space in the drawer. And then every time I do it, I'd have to come down and wrap my knuckles up against the countertop. So lesson learned, make sure that you got a nice sturdy one with enough clearance so that your knuckles don't smash into the ground or into the counter. Voila! And bear in mind, these are sharp. They're not like knife-like blades, but they can be pretty sharp. And I'm not doing anything special with the turkey itself. I'm just kind of browning the ends of it, browning the edges. The majority of it is going to cook with the pumpkin too, but you want to give it a good pre-cook. And we're just going to go ahead and slice our apple up. Splendid. Okay. For the next section, shallots. Now the recipe calls for 1 shallot. Shallots come in all different sizes, shapes, well, similar shapes, but 1 shallot can mean a lot. So it's really kind of up to your taste on this. They're shaped like garlic. Shaped like garlic. They come kind of in the form of garlic, but they're a lot more like an onion. So the term 1 shallot can be kind of however you're liking. This is a pretty big dish. And we've got a lot of rice and a lot of food that it needs to cover into. So we're going to just go ahead and use the whole thing. And these, I'm just going to go ahead and throw them all into the mini prep. And everything that's minced is going to go into the mini prep. And we're out. Okay. So it calls for a ½ cup of celery. I'm going to be putting a little bit more in there on this one. So I got my celery here. I'm just going to kind of half cup. I like celery. So we're going to mince up a ½ cup to throw in there, and then I'm going to go ahead and chop the rest of these and just mix it in. Give it a little bit more texture. So these pieces are going to add some flavor to it. extra celery texture. It's going to have some chopped chunks. Poultry. Turkey's still cooking. Got a second round. Used a smaller pan on this one, so we're doing it in 2 batches. Once we got our celery and our shallots, go ahead and cap this off. If you don't have a mini prep, highly recommend it. There we have it. Next up is our pumpkin. I'm going to go ahead and probably cut the top off a few inches down, so I got a nice wide rim on the top so you can work with it. So don't be afraid to go kind of wide on this, because the more room that you have on the top, the more room you're going to have to work. And when cutting a pumpkin, you want to use a slimmer knife to cut these so the knife doesn't get bound up. So if you're going to use one of these, you're trying to cut around, you're going to have problems turning it. So you want more of a slender knife, maybe even a steak knife, or if you've already gone and gotten like a pumpkin carving kit or something like that, you notice how they have really thin serrated blades in there. Betcha somebody makes a tool to carve you a perfect circle. Poultry. So here we have our turkey, and as you can see, got these cubes all nice and browned up. They're probably not quite cooked fully through, but this thing's going to be sitting in the oven for a good 45 minutes, so they're going to have plenty of time to finish cooking. Set aside. Alright, see how well I cut this. You need to use your knife to just kind of pry it up. There we go. It's not that pumpkin seeds are bad for you. It's just an interesting surprise, you know, if you're eating it and you get something a little bit crunchy. Yeah, you know, I think this one pumpkin is probably going to be enough, but you know, I suppose we'll see once I get everything mixed together. It looks like there's a lot of space in here, but you never know until everything gets mixed in. So we'll see what we get. So next up, everything gets combined. I've already got the turkey here, our apples. So it calls for, what is this called again? Pepitas. Grocery store didn't have pepitas, so if you can find them, great. The next closest thing is actual like hulled pumpkin seeds. I know that they're not considered the same, but they are substitutable. So that's what we're gonna do. We got 3 tablespoons here. Something to snack on for later. Mix in our minced shallots, celery. Now if you're using, it does call for garlic. I've got a lot of this pre-minced garlic, so I'm going to use it. Yeah, don't let anything go to waste. But if you are using fresh garlic, you would put that in with the, it would be minced up with the rest of this stuff. And it calls for 2 garlic cloves. So I'm going to estimate that because garlic can also come in the same size. So I'm going to estimate each clove as a tablespoon. One of the things that I've noticed about garlic is that when you cook it, it tends to like, I don't know, lose its flavor. So I don't have any problem with throwing in a little bit of extra. All right, let's get the rice in here. We got 2.5 cups of wild rice in here. Where did my whisk go? All right. We got 2.5 cups of wild rice in here. I shouldn't say wild, it's a wild blend. Should be good. We want to get everything all thoroughly blended. And in our poultry seasoning, what do we got? Two and a half teaspoons. And I have one of the things that I noticed while making these videos is that this cooking you have a tendency to slouch as you're like cooking and leaning over things. So posture is very important when you are posture is very important when you're cooking, so you don't put unnecessary strain on your back. there's 2, and then we need a half more. Half teaspoon. All right, poultry seasoning is in. We need some salt. Just go ahead and blend that together. You know, now that we've got everything together, I'm starting to think that it might actually just fill both pumpkins. You know, in hindsight, now that I'm doing this, probably would have been better, more efficient way to blend the spices in is to blend it into the rice first before mixing everything else in. So I'm noticing that it's kind of clumping up on the turkey. And nothing more fun than getting a nice little ball of seasoning in your mouth while you're trying to enjoy a dish. I think we pretty much got it. Oh, can't forget, almost got it. Quarter cup. Can't forget the cranberries. You know, it wouldn't be a good turkey dish without the cranberries. And I could always use a little bit more mixing. Alright, putting in a little bit extra cranberries. It says a quarter cup, I'm doing a half. Alrighty. Let's see how much this fills. So I'm thinking that this one pumpkin will do it, and we'll certainly pass the halfway point. So I have a second pumpkin that I will be able to do something else with. Maybe I'll puree it and make a pumpkin pie. It'll be fun. I've never, can't say I've ever actually made like a pumpkin pie from scratch. It'll be most certainly fun adventure. This wild rice, or wild rice blend, I should say. Like, I rinsed it and everything. I gave it a good washing before cooking it. Man, does it get sticky. Yep, one pumpkin. All right. Let's see if we can get the lid on this bad boy. All right, check that out. So here we have it. you thought pumpkins were heavy before, just go ahead and stuff it. So this is going to go in the cooker, the oven, 45 minutes at 400 degrees. Sure I didn't miss anything in here. Oh, dab with butter. So I guess throw some butter up on the top in there. So we got about 2 tablespoons of butter, and so yeah, this butter is basically going to cook on the top and then probably soak its way down. All right, now we're done. As I said before, prior to preheating your oven, make sure that you adjust your you check your clearance height on this pumpkin, so you don't want to be messing with that and trying to get its height set while the oven's already hot. So put the pumpkin in there first. Make sure that you got clearance on it, and you're not going to end up like scorching the top or anything on the top element, and then get your preheat going. So we're all set. 45 minutes, and also I got some some bread this time to go with it, and we'll be back. All right, the pumpkin just about finished. Do have this extra one, and I will find something delicious to do with it. Don't think I'll be carving a jack-o'-lantern out of it, because that is just a waste of delicious pumpkin. So I'm gonna pull this out, and we'll see what it looks like. Got some fresh bread. And, heavy pumpkin. Yeah, take a look at that. So we're going to go ahead and dish this up. Let me put this under the pumpkin camera here. That looks spectacular. Slice up some bread for this. This smells delicious. And makes quite a bit. I didn't see how many servings this covers, but one will most certainly give you leftovers. Alright, one more scoop on that. A little bit of bread on the side. There we have it. Don't know where to put everything. One stuffed pumpkin. I'm wondering. I suppose part of the fun in this is actually getting some of that pumpkin meat in here, so we'll see what that's like. But comes off quite like a spaghetti squash. It's very stringy. Alright, I hope you have fun with this. Again, my name's Ruben, and new issue of Good to Be Home is out. Shoot me a direct message if you want to be signed up for a copy. It's free, and we'll see you in the next one. Thank you.